For the last 60 years, Don Cherry has lived and breathed hockey, interviewing some of the biggest names in the sport.
In his new book, Don Cherry's Hockey Greats and More, he shares some of his behind-the-scenes stories that are, well, as colorful as his wardrobe. And the great Don Cherry joins us now. Don, always a pleasure to see you.
And speaking of colorful, you did not disappoint. You never do, Don.
I switched around a couple of times. I had the other one on, and my wife Luba said, "Wear this one." So that was Christmas and the whole, and this is
and the Grinch tie.
Grinch tie, the whole deal. So
I love it.
I'm ready.
Have you ever looked back in a coach's corner from like decades ago and thought, maybe I shouldn't have worn that suit?
Many times when I say, well, you know the one, I'll tell you the one, maybe I shouldn't tell this in Christmas and that, but the one I wore was the blood spray. Do you remember that one? Do you ever remember that?
Oh, right, yes.
I just put it on, and then I saw it on TV because a lot of kids watching.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what am I doing with that one on? And that's been asked by the police if I could have it. I think I'll give it to them. I'll never wear it again.
As evidence.
That's the one I went to store.
Well, you know what's funny? I was reading in the book that you also talked about a time, I think it was watching a game in Boston, but they were doing, on the big screen, they were doing, is this a couch or is this Don Cherry's jacket?
Oh,
and it was like, which one is it?
I got to get that. It was good. And they kept guessing all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the new book that you wrote with your son. How did you decide who to include in Don Cherry's Hockey Greats?
Well, you know, it's funny. We thought of that. We were watching the hockey, and we go and watch Minor Midget all the time. And it was freezing. We were back in the Zamboni room trying to get warm. And he said, you know, those grapevine shows a long time ago in the 80s. We had such guests, and they used to talk. He said, why don't we do, and it was Tim's idea. So that's how we did it. And we get the in stuff. We get King Clancy, I think, on there. He tells the inside stuff. Not too happy when Ace Bailey almost got killed. And Scotty Bowman, too many men on the ice. So it's pretty good.
You also have Terry O'Reilly in there. Why is he so special to you?
It's funny, I was just with Terry O'Reilly down in Boston, and he's loved by Terry O'Reilly. How could you not in Boston? Here's a guy that got most goals, most assists, and he had 200 minutes in penalties. So he is the Boston Bruins.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the Bruins, you talk in the book about your biggest regret in hockey is that Bobby Orr and Brad Park, you didn't play them together more?
What happened was I think we'd won 9 out of 10. We lost the very first game, and we won 9 out of 10. We were never going to lose. I don't think we'd ever lose again. And Bobby's knee just went on him, and it was unbelievable. Those two guys, 2 Norris Trophy winners, the greatest hockey player in the world, and the second best defenseman of all time. And they won 9 out of 10. And I remember the game with Chicago. They had to carry Bobby off, his knee, the bones, and everything, because it just went.
How tough is that? Because you had a taste of what could have been with the two of them.
Well, we went to the 7th game. Figure it out. We went to the 7th game, and with Bobby, the greatest hockey player who ever lived. And with Park was never under, he never ever got the recognition he should have. It would have been fantastic to watch. I remember Cesar Maniego. They were on the point. This is a true story. The only time I've ever seen a referee call a timeout to give a goalie a rest, and there was a picture, and the Boston fans give him a standing ovation because I think we poured 60 shots at him that day.
Well, listen, the book is Hockey Greats and More, so you also talk about some other players outside of hockey, including Josh Donaldson.
Josh Donaldson, I tell you a story a lot of people don't know. This is a true story. How are you going to make, he said, I'll make you look. I was really nervous. I'm throwing a pitch, and he said, I'll make you look good. I said, how the heck are you going to make me? And what he did was, I threw it. It was too short. He just ran out and caught it. And I wish him the best of luck in Atlanta because, as I'm sure you met him, he's a great guy. So he's Josh Donaldson, MVP.
I got to ask you about hockey parents. I'm a vocal hockey mom, but a positive vocal hockey mom. But we get a bad rap, hockey parents. But you say no, you support us.
I go to the games. Nobody goes to the games more than me, and I very rarely do I hear a parent going. But it's a thing to say, parents like that. Of course. Parents want their kid to make the National League. What's the matter with that? Look at Nylander making $6 million or $7 million now. So the parents get a bad rap, but it's the thing to do in the media. And they're the best people in the world because, as you know, they spend more money. It's the most expensive sport in the world, hockey, and they travel, ruin cars, vacation, where best people in the world are hockey parents.
You also give us a glimpse behind the scenes of Coach's Corner and Hockey Night in Canada in the book. And you write that you actually do Coach's Corner every Saturday on an empty stomach, Don?
Ron McLean and I have a lot of fun when we first started. I do the same thing as when I played. I had the toast in the morning and the stuff in the morning. Then I had my steak at 12:01, and I don't eat till after. And I did that when I coached, and I did that now. So I don't know. I have to have a real empty stomach with coffee to go and get pumped for Coach's Corner.
To get the Don we know.
You got it.
All right. Well, I'm going to stay hungry for this show then. You know what I'm saying? Rock'em Sock'em coming to an end. We're done.
Yeah, Rock'em Sock'em. Tim said we're going to go out on top. You know, 30 years we've been going. There's my dog. You can see her right there. That's my original dog, too.
That's Blue, the original?
Blue, yeah, that's the original. And God love her. I think so much of her. And anyhow, yeah, Rock'em Sock'em's over now. It's done after 30 years. And kind of sad, to tell you the truth.
It is kind of sad, but we still have you, and we have, like you said, 30 years of Rock'em Sock'em. We keep playing them in the van over and over again.
Yeah, and it's funny thing is the mothers that they said the big thing is the mothers love me, and when they first, and by 12 o'clock they hate my voice. The kids playing over and over again.